and welcome to Truth with Ruth, a witty, warm, and real podcast about anything and everything health and fitness. I'm your host, Ruth Edwards, joined by
co-host Evan Edwards.
And on today's episode, it's real, honest talk about strength training, also known as weightlifting or resistance training. Now, just to forewarn you, this episode could be a little bit longer than some of others previous because it is a little bit more detailed of a topic. But I don't know about you, Evan, but my social media algorithms, I mean, they know what I do, right? So, but my social media channels are flooded with information about why anybody and everybody, especially women, should lift weights. Do you see that kind of thing in your feeds?
No. We have different
algorithms. Okay. All right. Well, at least in mine, it's very, very prevalent. Now, some of it is selling programs. Some of it is clickbait. Some of it is selling a quick fix. And all because, yes, most people have weight they want to lose.
That's true.
Yeah. Maybe they want a different body shape or a different look. I don't know. If you do see anything, what do you see as far as like what they're selling?
Weight loss.
Okay.
For a lot of men, maybe they want to gain weight. Or maybe not gain weight, but gain muscle mass, which I mean is still gaining a weight.
Yeah.
But
muscle,
but still a lot of weight loss. Isn't a lot.
You're changing the way that their body looks. Yeah. So what we're going to try to do is cut through the noise, peel back the layers, and give you real information about strength training. Now, that's my preferred term, strength training. So, some people call it weightlifting. Some call it resistance training. It all means the same thing. I'm going to call it strength training, and that's because it makes the most sense to me. I think it's the most clear. Because, well, weightlifting, honestly, when you say weightlifting, my brain immediately concocts this image in my head of the big muscle guys in the gym with the brown leather weightlifting belts on, and they're squatting 500 pounds. They're deadlifting, I don't know, like hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And that's, that's not going to be me. It's probably not going to be you. But so for the average person, I don't know that weightlifting maybe is the best term. Strength training, I think, is just a little bit more clear. Resistance training, again, I think some people might be a little confused by that term, by the word resistance. So I just think strength training is a little more clear. But anyway, strength training. They all mean the same thing, but I'm going to go strength training. So.
Well, you mentioned the different ways to describe strength training. So what is strength training?
Right.
What does it entail?
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. What does that really, really mean? All right. When you strength train, you're going to increase your muscle strength, how strong they are, by making your muscles work against a weight or a force. So it might be pushing, it might be pulling, it might be lifting, or like standing up or lowering down to the floor. But strength training is considered a form of anaerobic exercise. Here's another vocabulary word for you. So anaerobic exercise is any activity that breaks down, not to get too scientific here, but it breaks down glucose, sugar, for energy without using oxygen. So generally, anaerobic exercise tends to be shorter, like a short burst, higher intensity. Because the idea is that a lot of energy energy is released in a small period of time, and the oxygen demand surpasses the supply. Okay, so anyway, little scientific there. But I mean, a lot of people know what, right? We used to call it aerobics. Aerobic exercise is that type of exercise that's repetitive and it's structured physical activity and requires the body's metabolic system to use oxygen to produce energy. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. So strength training usually falls in the category of anaerobic. All right, anyway, strength training. There are different forms. You can use body weight only because your body does weigh something. You can use free weights. That would be a dumbbell, maybe, or a kettlebell. Anything heavy. It could be a can of green beans. It could be a full bottle of water or jug of water. It could be your baby, your toddler. It could be your dog. I mean, anything that has mass. Okay? Weight, then there are weight machines. Okay, that's what typically people go into the gym for, because there's all the different machines. There are resistance bands, and you've got infinity ones that are smaller. You've got the long ones that are tubes with handles on them, so there's all kinds of bands. And then there's also plyometrics. So there's all different kinds or ways. Then a beginner needs to train probably 2 to 3 times a week per week to gain the maximum benefit. Okay, so it's not one and done. It's not just this week and not next week. It's not just, it takes time. If you've never done it before, or if it's been a while, I highly recommend being screened. There's called a health screening. So if you use a certified personal trainer, they should know what this is, and they should complete it with you before designing a program for you.
Will those like measure my BMI,
No, usually the health screening is really just to make sure you're not going to have a heart attack and pass out on me or die while I'm training you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's really assessing for high risk of a cardiac issue happening while I'm working with you. No, the after that, if you're working with a trainer, then they might take some measurements. It might be flexibility measurements, like can you touch your toes or whatever. It might be your BMI. It might be measuring your arms, your waist, your legs. It might be your weight. Might be like how much can you squat, or how long can you hang on something. They might do a few tests like that just to see where you are, to see where to start you. And it also depends on what your goals are. Like if weight loss or weight gain is a goal, then we're going to weigh you, because we want to measure things to see where we're going and if we're going to get there or when we get there. So yeah. And then, so any exercise professional, it could be a doctor, it could be a physical therapist, a physio, any kind of movement specialist who's gone through training or certifications should know how to do the health screening and do those measurements. Yeah. And then a strength training program is going to have goals, starting points, and progressions. So, and that way you'll know when you reach your goals. And then more than likely, you'll see results. So, that's strength training in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's not really a nutshell, is it?
No.
It's a little detailed.
Well, so what, other than those 3, what'd you say, 3?
Yeah.
Beginning, middle, and end, what's what's in between, or what is a strength training program?
Yeah. So program is the key word.
Okay.
Okay. And I think that, like, that's the most common mistake I see when, whether it's somebody at the gym or somebody I'm talking to or somebody that's coming to me, maybe for Pilates, or is, they get frustrated because they don't see results. And it's like, well, it's because you're not actually programming your workouts. So what is a strength training program? And the basic tenets of it is, it's called progressive overload. So you've got to stress or overload the musculoskeletal system. Musculoskeletal system. You've got to stress it or overload it enough over time to create the adaptations. And the cool thing is that your body will figure out how to adapt and get stronger in response to those stressors so that it will overcome. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? That's how God made us. That whatever stressor you give it on a regular basis, it will figure out how to deal with it efficiently and effectively to become stronger. And I'm just talking about muscles and bones. But we could probably apply that to a lot of things, right? Specifics. So the adaptations are specific to the muscles trained. I mean, most people want total body transformation. There could be instances where we're specifically working on the hamstrings or the glutes or, I don't know, the biceps that could happen.
Big old arms and skinny little legs.
Yeah, we don't want that typically, like SpongeBob when he buys the muscle costume. The boys would watch SpongeBob, and I ended up watching it with them when they were, middle school? Upper elementary, middle school? All right, progression. So you'll hear that word a lot in strength training. It's also called periodization, but that means we're slowly increasing or changing that stressor in a progressive manner at just the right level at just the right time to maximize performance and create growth. So there's progression, individuality. I mean, right? Because everybody's a little different. I'm a girl. You're a guy. Then you have athletes. You have versus maybe a stay-at-home mom. I mean, a stay-at-home mom can be an athlete, but I mean, there's different kinds of people, body types, what they're already used to, what they even did as a kid makes a difference. So sometimes they need different stimulus. A high-level elite athlete is going to need different stimulus than an artist. Right. And then reversibility, and what that means is if we remove all those stressors or stimulus for an extended period of time, the body will go in reverse. Okay, so you'll lose the gains or strength that you created, and that usually does happen. Then there's all kinds of equipment. I've already mentioned some of those. So dumbbells, kettlebells, there's barbells, there's bands, there's might be, like I said, a can of green beans, but all different kinds of equipment. And then design, it depends on the person's goals. But that design is usually, whatever your goal is, that's going to tell us what the design is. So is it going to be 3 sets of 10 reps? Is it going to be 6 sets of 5 reps? Is it going to be 3 sets of 15 reps? And it depends on what the person's goals are. Like, do they want to increase their strength? Do they want to increase their power? Do they want to increase their muscle size? Or do they want to increase their muscle endurance? or do they want all four? So when a trainer is working with someone designing a program, they should be asking all those questions. Yeah.
Well, why should people strength train? Like, what's benefit, or why should I do it? Or you, or you
anybody,
or me or us,
right? Because I mean, what I'm seeing on social media, some of it is correct. Should everybody strength train? Yes. Right. And because there are big benefits to it. There are physical benefits, mental benefits, and that can be achieved through resistance or strength training. Improved muscle strength and tone. So usually, like, it looks, I got my jacket on, but it looks better. Helps
your summer body.
Yes. When we don't have as many clothes on. And how it looks. But also that improved muscle strength and tone will usually make daily life a little bit easier. Have a bit more stamina and endurance. It'll help you with your flexibility, mobility, balance, and coordination. And that's super important as we age, to stay upright and with our balance. Usually helps with weight management, because typically your body composition will get a bit better and be more muscle, less fat. And current research is showing that muscle mass is really, and we've always known this, but more and more research is that muscle mass is really much more beneficial in helping us with reducing body fat. What I tell people is, it's not quite like this, but I mean, it's the best thing I've got, and that is muscle eats fat. So, sort of, kind of like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So anyway, it might help reduce or prevent cognitive decline in older people. You'll have more stamina, so as you grow stronger, you won't get tired as easily or as early or as often. It can help prevent or control chronic diseases such as diabetes, coronary artery disease, arthritis, back pain, depression, obesity. It can actually help with pain management, which might sound like what, but it can. Improved posture, decreasing your risk of injury, increasing your bone density, which should reduce your risk of fractures, like especially due to osteoporosis. Can give you an improved sense of well-being, because what it does is it tends to boost our self-confidence, and we have a better body image and mood. I mean, I know I lift some big heavy weight, and I'm like, oh, and like, oh, I can do anything. Yeah, when you feel strong like that. Improved sleep, okay, might help with that insomnia. Can make better use of your blood sugar and help balance blood sugar levels. Reduce your resting blood pressure. Improve your blood lipid profiles as cholesterol. So your LDL and HDL and total cholesterol, it can improve those and get them where you want them to be. Can help you poop faster, better, more completely. Yep. And then for those with chronic disease, like, it can actually help with, again, diabetes, asthma, metabolic syndrome, any type of cardiovascular disease, low back pain, arthritis, joint pain, depression, stuff like that. So extremely, extremely helpful for seniors. But my encouragement, no matter how old you are listening to this, is don't wait. Go ahead and start now. Yeah. So lots and lots of benefits for everybody to strength train.
Well, to like list some real life like examples, like not being as winded when you walk up the stairs or walk up the driveway to get the mail, or carrying your child or grandchild, or carrying that really heavy package inside, or
load of laundry.
a load of laundry.
I mean, the laundry basket when it's full, it's heavy.
Up and down the stairs.
Yeah. Being able to climb stairs.
Yeah. What else? Those are just the ones off the top of my head.
Okay, so I use cast iron. Oh,
Those are heavy.
That should probably be a topic that we tackle, is why. But yeah, cast iron is heavy, and so I have a Dutch oven, cast iron Dutch oven. Well, a Dutch oven, I mean, it's this big around, and it has a lid, and it's this deep, and so when you're bending over the open door and putting it in the oven, and then you gotta later pull it out of the oven. That sucker is heavy. Plus, now it's even heavier because it's got something in it, and so you gotta be strong for that.
And then, oh, you said pooping. Everyone should be pooping at least once a day. Is healthy.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do a topic. That'll be a topic.
Yes. Yeah. And speaking, I mean, I'm gonna go rabbit trail or squirrel to the dog. So my dog is a black lab, and when we first got him, he didn't want to get in the car. He was terrified of the car, but I needed to take him to the vet, and then take him over to the trainer's house, and that dog would not get in the car, and so I had to deadlift him into my car, and he's like, at that point, was 90 pounds. So there's no way I would have been able to do that if I didn't strength train.
Or lifting your dog, or for anyone who's moving, like lifting, again, I already said lifting packages inside, but you're lifting boxes and furniture, and so anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes daily life a bit easier. Playing with grandkids, being able to get down on the floor, get up out of the floor, not being scared that if you do fall that you won't be able to get up. Cleaning your house, I mean, that takes quite a bit of strength and effort and muscle endurance. So yeah, just makes daily life a lot easier usually.
Well, yeah. Anyways. You said don't wait to get started, but how do you start? Yeah. Where do you go? What do you do?
And I think that's probably the biggest hang up that people have. Like, maybe you're listening to us right now and you're like, I know I should, but how do I start? What do I do? So
overwhelmed.
Yes. So hopefully, I mean, that's really what I want you to take away from this, is that you can do this. And so let's talk about that and dive into that. There are so many ways to go about it. You can go much more traditional. You can go DIY it. You can go somewhere in between. I think the most important or helpful, probably not most important, but the most helpful question for the listeners to answer for themselves before they decide, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. Well, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. Now, the next thing is, what's going to work best for me? If I'm the listener, what's going to work best for me? You got to know yourself. Okay? What's your time, your schedule like? What's your budget like? Do you need accountability? Do you need a friend? Does it need to be a one-on-one, or does it need to be a group? Do you need to stay at home, or do you need to go to the gym? Do you need to, does it need to be really interactive and fun, or can it be, quote, boring, unquote? Like, you've got to answer, I think it's just really helpful, answer some of those questions, because that is what's going to help you make a good decision about what type of program will work for you, or how to do this, so that you won't waste your time and money. You'll get started and you'll stick with it. So I think those are really good questions to, like, know yourself. I am okay working out by myself. I put myself on a program, and it's Monday. I need to, well, let me pick a more realistic one. It's Friday. It's my push day. So I get my headphones or my music. I get my workout plan. I go out into my home gym and I do it. That's not a big deal for me. But there are other people who are like, heck no, I'm not doing that by myself. They either need a friend, they need a class, they need a trainer. But then you need to know, again, your schedule, you need to know your budget. And then, do you need to pay somebody so you'll be accountable?
Yeah.
And so you won't quit? Or will a friend do? So I think those are really helpful questions to ask.
Yeah.
Then, if you can budget, find it in your budget and in your time schedule. I really think that probably the best thing to do, if you've never done it before, if you've never strength trained before, is to hire a personal trainer. Any type of movement specialist. They don't have to be a personal trainer. It could be a really good Pilates teacher or yoga or something. But anyway, hire somebody who really knows what they're doing and have them design a strength training program for you based on your goals. You need to give it at least 3 months. At least. It's 30 days. You'll start seeing changes, but it's not going to be much. So, just like every industry, there's good ones, there's bad ones, there's good, excellent, fair, poor, right? I would, if I were you, I'd ask around. Look for a trainer, instructor, teacher, movement specialist that is kind of similar to you. So for me, that would be a woman. For you, a guy. And you might, are they your age? Are they younger? Are they older? I'm going on 53. But I don't want a girl who's 25. Okay. She has probably not had babies. I mean, it's possible. She has not gone through perimenopause. She has not dealt with just some of the things that I have dealt with or are dealing with. And so, anyway, what I'm saying is, I'm going to be looking for somebody who's already gone through some of the things I've gone through and who's accomplished what I want to accomplish. So have you ever heard it said, don't take advice from somebody who hasn't gone where you want to go? You ever heard anything like that?
But it's sensible. That's sensible.
Right. So, it can, some people use that in coaching or, business.
Relationship advice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take relationship advice from someone who's had 5 divorces. Well, what if she's watching?
Oh. Shh, we can say that. Okay, but anyway,
yes.
Don't take advice from somebody who hasn't been where you want to go. Now, there are some really good coaches who can coach you, but anyway, just that they have a good understanding. It's just more. There are some really good men trainers out there, but as a perimenopausal woman, I'm sorry, I don't care how many courses he's taken on women's hormones, he's just not quite gonna get it. No offense, guys, but he can try, but he can't quite comprehend what you're describing. And it might be TMI. He might not want to hear about it. So anyway, it is okay to kind of interview and search and shop around for a really good trainer or movement specialist who can really understand what you're going for. Again, if you're 20, yeah, sure, hire the 25-year-old or the 29-year-old. But I'm sorry, she's not going to help me get where I want to be at the age I'm at. But, okay. that's what I would do if I was just starting out. Hire a good trainer, learn the basics, they're spotting you, they're teaching you the correct form, and get the hang of it. Then, once you kind of have that under your belt, and also you've figured out, oh, this works well for me. Oh, yes, I can, this keeps me accountable. Oh, I got this, I can do this on my own. I don't need an accountability. You just kind of figure that out. Then, okay, maybe you can DIY it. Or maybe you could move into small group personal training, and where it's 2 or 3 of you. That's a little bit cheaper. Maybe you YouTube. There's apps, there's virtual, there's all kinds.
Yeah.
But I would start in the beginning with a really good personal trainer.
Yeah. Post on your Facebook group, your neighborhood HOA, your local, there's Facebook groups for every town and city. Post on your Instagram story.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not a member of a fitness community already, then you could, go about, ask your friends. Who would you recommend? If you're a member of a gym, ask at the gym. Most gyms have trainers on staff. But I would ask around, which one would be the best fit for me.
Because people can say how they have felt.
Mm-hmm.
A personal recommendation rather than a
generic.
This person works here.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, what was I going to say? Trainers, I had another comment. Oh, when I was cleaning up your website and we were going through your online page, you had a disclaimer. If you are DIYing it or don't have it in the budget at the moment, it doesn't hurt to start by DIYing or doing it yourself. YouTube University.
Mm-hmm.
But still, if you can, at least once a quarter, once every other month, however often you can manage it, you should still meet with a trainer of some sort, a fitness professional, to watch you, make sure you're not going to hurt yourself or you have the right form so you don't. Because if you're doing an exercise for 3 months with your feet planted the wrong way, you're going to hurt something. So,
yeah, I think, even for me, I am a trainer. I'm a comprehensive Pilates teacher. I still think it's a good idea. I try to do it on a regular basis every 4 or 5 months or so. Take a class from another person, another teacher, another trainer. Take a Pilates session with a different teacher, because I could possibly see myself in a mirror, but that's still limited. And so
then you have to have your neck turned every...
Right, and that might not be helpful in that particular exercise. So I just think no matter how well trained you are, and it's a good idea every so often, every few months probably, to work with the person in person, maybe virtual, but somebody who's actually watching you do the exercises. And because sometimes hey, Ruth, your right shoulder is way up here when you're doing that. And it's like, seriously, it is? I wasn't catching it. And so, oh, okay, that feels way better. I didn't realize I was doing that. And so sometimes you just need that other set of eyes on you to, just kind of, they might catch something that, not that you're necessarily doing it wrong, but that it just might not be the most efficient or effective. Or they might find something, also just the positive encouragement and praise, like, wow, look how far you've come. Look at what you can do now that you couldn't do before. And, that's beautiful. Way to go. Good job. That also is good for your soul.
Yeah.
So all of it combined, it's a good idea to do that every so often if if you're choosing to do more like on demand videos or whatever, I'd still every so often do something in person with the person that you're paying them to watch you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, okay. So to recap.
Yes, I'm glad.
What's a program?
A program it's written out. Like, I mean, it might be digital, but still, it's written out. What exercises on what days, how many sets, how many reps, what kind of rest period, and all of that's going to be determined by what your goals are. Is your goal to increase your strength? Is it more for aesthetics? So when I hear people say, "Well, I want to be toned," okay, that means I want to look better. I want to look strong. So that's going to be, I don't know, 3 or 4 sets of probably 12 repetition. Maybe 10 repetition. Okay, there's always but 8 to 12 repetitions. That falls under the category of bodybuilding. And then, of course, as soon as you say that scares some people. But anyway.
You don't have to look like them if you do not
want
to.
And you probably won't unless you
want to be a bodybuilder.
Right? Really invest the time and the dedication. And
it's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle. And also the nutrition. That's where But anyway, program. Did I answer that question?
I think so.
Yeah, and it's going to include progressive overload. So it's going to tell you or guide you when you need to either increase the weight or increase the repetitions or increase or decrease the rest time. But whatever that looks like, you're increasing the amount of stress on the muscle, which leads to increasing the stress on the bone, and then that's how bone density improvement happens. So yeah, so it's that actual workout plan. Yeah.
Well, do you can you provide any examples for the people listening or watching?
Sure. Yeah. I'd say anybody who's looking to build that, I mentioned this already, muscle mass for aesthetics. So like I said, what I hear the most of was, I just want to be toned. I just want to get toned. So, and that's fine, but we're talking building muscle mass for aesthetics. It's about how we look. And again, that's fine. That's fine. In that case, the program is probably going to be broken down into 4 or 5 days a week. So, chest and biceps. Okay, your big guns. So chest and bis. Let's just say that's day 1. Day 2 might be shoulders and abs. Day 3 might be legs. Day 4 would then be back and triceps. Okay, so that's that's if you do it in 4 days. So 5 days would be similar, just a slight variation. Maybe it's just chest, just back, and the 5th day is arms, biceps, and triceps. So anyway, you can kind of separate it out. It's probably going to be about 30-ish minutes. So you got 4, let's just say 4 days, targeted muscle group. There's going to be, 6 to 8 exercises. So let's say it's chest and biceps. So we're going to probably do 3 or 4 chest exercises and then 2 or 3 bicep exercises. Probably 3 to 4 sets, meaning chest press or bench press or something for the chest. A set of 6 to 12 reps. Then you're going to do it again. Then you're going to do it again. Then maybe a 4th time. But in between, so that's called a set. In between those sets, you're going to rest 30 to 90 seconds. How hard do you work? That's so for somebody who's doing it to get that toned look, right? Or look like I lift weights a little bit, their perceived exertion is going to be 70 to 85%. All right. And that's of their 1 rep max. I was like, oh, crap. No. We haven't even talked about that yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, what does all that mean?
Exactly. So it's like, I don't want to get too academic here. But when you're first, let's say you hire a personal trainer, when one of the tests that they might do with you is your 1 rep max. So how much can you lift, squat, deadlift, chest press, or push over your head one time? So a really good personal trainer will have you perform those tests. And they'll give you a chance to warm up, you know, and guide you through all that. But, like, yeah. If you only have to do it one time, what's the most you can do that one time? Squat, overhead press, deadlift, chest press. So then, once I have that number, now I get my percentage. And so it's just a little math.
But the personal trainer to do.
The personal trainer,
I don't have to do any math.
You don't have to do that. Exactly. That's why you hired the personal trainer, for them to do all those calculations and that math. Now, there's still, but then we got to put it in the real world. Okay. Now, so, was the 1 rep max test valid? Was it a good day? Were you anyway, you know. So now we're going to put it in the real world. And so we might have to do a little trial and error to make sure we're on the right page. But okay, now that's kind of a typical program. And so let's just say every Monday we're doing the same chest and bicep workout. Every Tuesday we're doing the same shoulder and ab workout. Okay, so the workouts aren't changing.
Okay,
you're doing the exact same thing every Monday, every Tuesday, rest on Wednesday. Okay. So a lot of people say, oh, that's boring. Actually, that's the whole point. Because your muscles have got to do, or your body's got to do the same exercises over and over and over to build muscle memory, to build those neural pathways, and so that you can progressively overload, so slowly increase the reps or the weight, or else you won't know. So you do need to do the same workout for at least a month. Okay, so 4 to 6 weeks usually. Then yes, now miraculously your body has adapted. Again, really cool thing. It's actually a miracle. And now it's time to change it. And you're still going to be doing a lot of the same exercises. It's just we're going to, I don't know, we might put them in a slightly different order, or we might focus on push-ups instead of bench press. We might just change the focus just a little bit. We might change the rest time. Anyway, it's going to vary a little bit, but it's still going to be very, very similar. Now, there are some people who want to know, well, can I just do this total body strength workout and will that be enough? Maybe. In the bodybuilding world, they're going to say no. But if you're not trying to enter a bodybuilding competition, then it's very possible that you can get the results you want for that toned look doing total body strength workouts. But again, you want to follow a program. So if I'm doing total body workouts, strength workouts, then on Tuesdays I do this one. I do workout A. On Thursdays I do workout B. And on Saturdays I do workout C. Or I do workout A 3 times a week. A. I do the same workout all month, 3 times a week, That's 12 times, about, give or take, with a day of rest in between. By the time I've done that workout 12 times, I'm going to know for sure whether or not I've progressed. Or maybe that I need to progress. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is possible to do the total body strength. Again, just got to be smart about it, and you want to program it. Like, which workout is A, which workout is B. You could do ABA, you could do AB, A, then the next week's going to be BAB. See, you need to write it down. Okay, you gotta. I like pen and paper, but you gotta map it out. Maybe that's the right word. You gotta map it out. Yeah. Yeah. I have already mentioned that no matter what, your body's going to adapt. So in about 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to need to change it. And again, it doesn't have to be a huge change, but probably change it. So, and there are lots and lots of different ways to change it. So it doesn't have to be boring.
Yeah. And then, I guess on the exercise part, most gyms will have machines.
Yeah.
If you're doing it yourself at home, you're using what you have.
Yeah.
Is there a difference in machines versus your individual exercise equipment, like a dumbbell or a kettlebell or a can of green beans?
Yeah. So you have weight machines, and then what you're describing is what we would call free weights. So dumbbells, barbells, resistance bands, can of green beans, or jug of water. All those would be in the category kettlebells of free weights. So, if you've never done any kind of weight training, resistance training, strength training before, weight machines, the machines that you would have to go into a gym probably to find, they are a really good place to start. So beginners, or it's been a really long time, weight machines are a good place to start because you sit down on it, lay down on it, stand on it, whatever, and it gives you some kind of support, control. It isolates that particular muscle. And so it provides a lot of stability. Rather than free weights being, maybe I'm at home, maybe I am in the gym, whatever, barbells, dumbbells. It's all up to me, my body, to control it in this space around me. And so for beginners, or it's been a long time, or maybe somebody has some hypermobility or some other joint issues, it may not be the best choice for them to do free weights. At least not yet. So it just kind of, again, that's, if you're brand new or beginner or restarting, that's why working with a professional can oftentimes, it's just a good idea. But, yeah, so there is a difference. Now, weight machines can have their place for the advanced lifters, but typically your more advanced strength training people, they're using dumbbells, barbells, pulleys, and I mean, yeah, still might walk by and see a really big dude, bro, professional over there on the pec deck, but you know, so they do have their place, but it's just really, really helpful for beginners to use those weight machines. Whereas the others, having a little bit of experience with picking up something that weighs something and moving it around, you know, in the air, it takes more control and stability. Now, that's actually really, really good for what we call functional fitness. Functional fitness is a buzzword, a trendy word, phrase. It became popular quite a few years ago. But as long as what you're doing is going to help you with making those daily life activities feel a little bit better and a little bit easier, then guess what? It's functional fitness. Because you're bending down, picking up the thing, the heavy weight, moving it around, and that's daily life, right? Doing our chores and stuff. Yeah, so if you come to me and you're working with me and you're brand new, once I do all those tests and I get a feel for where you are, if I have it available to me, then I'm going to probably start you out on machines. Until you've got a little bit of experience under your belt before I move you over to the squat rack. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about all this training.
Yeah.
Kind of under the assumption that you're working one-on-one with a trainer or fitness professional.
Yeah.
What about someone considering, or someone who doesn't want to do it by themselves, or someone considering doing it with a small group of people? So what about a group fitness class for strength training, or doing it with a small group of people?
Yeah. There is such a thing as small group strength training. So that's where maybe 4 or 5 people go in together and work with the trainer. And it's still customized, not quite as much as one-on-one, but it's still customized. Ideally, the 4 or 5 of you that are doing it together are all pretty much the same fitness level. There's not any injuries or limitations that the trainer's got to work around.
Same, like, demographic, like age range,
or at least like you have similar goals and you're already about the same level.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be that's helpful. But then the other part of that is like a group fitness class, like the facility that I'm in. We have all of that. We have personal trainers. We have the trainers who do maybe they work with 4 to 6 people at a time. But then we also have group fitness, or Group X is often what it's called too in a gym setting. Most group fitness classes don't program. So some do, but many do not. So I can't really answer that question as a blanket. If you love group fitness, I love group fitness, I love it. If you love group fitness and that's where you want to start, but you're like, oh, I probably should be doing a little bit more, I'm not really sure how to progressively overload, then go up to the instructor before class and ask them, do you happen to program your workouts for progressive overload? And they should know what that means. Or tell them what your goals are and see what they have to offer. Sometimes they would gladly help you. Sometimes they are also available to do kind of one-on-one coaching with. But it's just a lot of times in Group X, I teach every Tuesday. It's just that every Tuesday I'm doing a different workout. That's how Group X tends to work. But again, not always. So I actually changed my program, my whole thing, because I had a lot of women in my class that wanted to get stronger, but they told me, they said, Ruth, we're not going out on that floor out there and using those machines. We're not doing it. But we'll do whatever you want us to in here, in the main group fitness room. So what I started doing was I started programming. So every Tuesday is a total body strength workout. And we do the exact same workout every Tuesday for a month. And then I change it. So that's ideally we would do it every Tuesday and Thursday. But it's not just us in the gym, so. But that way they're getting it at least 4 times. And hopefully by the end of that 4th into the month and they've done it 4 times, they have a little bit of an idea that yes, they've made some progress, and or they could do more weight or do more reps. Now with my older adult class, they do the same workout every Tuesday and Thursday for a month. So if they come to every class, they do it. They've done it 8 times, and they should definitely be able to tell. And that's a little smaller group, and so I do have a little bit more ability to personalize and customize for them, work with them, work around limitations and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's been it's been well received. It's been a great experience for both them and me, and they are getting stronger. They are much more balanced and stable. And they're telling me, they come in and tell me, oh, I was able to do this yesterday. I almost fell and I didn't, and caught myself. And so that's real life happening. That's really encouraging and exciting, not only for me, but for them. And so I took that opportunity because that's what they wanted. Basically to program for progressive overload. So I think I can't say that all Group X progressively overloads. I can't say that they don't. You just need to go ask the instructor of the class if they do or don't progressively, or do they program for strength training, and find out what they say. So now, can it fit into, like, if you're like, okay, but I love Group X, I don't want to give that up. All right, fine. Talk, whoever is helping you map out your plan, then plug in where your Group X, or what classes you want to take Group X, and then, so what are your other days? Oh, that leaves me with 3 free days. Well then, depending on what you're doing on these other Group X days, then let's figure out what you should put on these other days. That's not going to wear you out or break you down too much, because you do need to recover. Yeah. So I think, like, the biggest benefit to hiring somebody, I think, is they can help you map it out, and oftentimes they can help you figure out how to work around your so-called obstacles. Excuses. Like, because one of my mottos is, oh, there's always a workaround. Always. Don't tell me your knee hurts. I mean, tell me your knee hurts. That's okay. I'll find an alternative exercise for you. You can still exercise. Yeah. You can still get stronger. We can still strengthen your quads, or whatever it is. Actually, that's what we need to do. We need to strengthen your quads. Whatever you give me, I'm going to find a workaround. So that's what I'm good at. But being in group fitness for as long as I've been, one of my biggest frustrations is seeing the same people pick up the same 5-pound dumbbells for 10 years. That's not progressive overload. That is not building muscle mass. It is not strength training.
You're just on a plateau. Yeah.
And you're not making any progress. So that's one of my most frustrating things to see and watch, but I can only say it and preach it so much. So.
Yeah. And then I think on one of our previous episodes, we talked about Pilates and strength training. If anyone remembers, you might know the answer to this question already, but what about Pilates? Is Pilates a form of strength training? Is Pilates a form of strength training? And if you already know the answer, how far maybe can I get with Pilates in regards to strength training?
And so if you listen to that episode, you might already know the answer, and so this will just be a brief recap. So the short answer is no. But again, it can depend, so I don't like to give always a blanket statement. But the short answer, blanket, is no, but it depends. If if you are brand new to exercise, you're restarting, or rehabbing from an injury, then it is possible that you could make some strength gains using the Pilates method. That's absolutely possible, especially if you're also using the equipment from the Pilates method. But once you hit a certain point in your strength, then you're not going to have much room to progressively overload because the equipment is limited. There's only so many springs. The springs only go up, in resistance so much. So for example, let's say that I can squat 200 pounds. Well, you put me on the Pilates reformer, there's no way to load it to be 200 pounds for a squat type motion. So we just can't. It's not available to us. So in order for me to progressively overload my squat exercise, I've got to load up a barbell and put it probably on my back, right? Maybe a squat press machine, but anyway, I'm probably going to have to go to something else to progressively overload. But again, for beginners coming back from an injury, just kind of new or restarting, you might be able to make some strength gains in Pilates. But generally, again, so it depends. Now, what Pilates does count for is muscle endurance. And that is certainly a goal for some people for strength training, especially your athletes who do the long distance stuff. Also, just as we age, you want to have endurance, to be able to walk around the block or take your dog for a walk, or to be able to keep up with your kids at Disney World or whatever it is, or maybe it's grandkids, keep up with it, then you want to have that muscular endurance. So Pilates is very good for that, especially if you're doing it 2 to 3 times a week. Then it's going to give you that muscle endurance. It's also really good for mobility, flexibility, creating control or stability, for those strength training movements. So Pilates is really good for regulating the nervous system, balance, and coordination. So in my opinion, Pilates is a really, really, really good complement for strength training. So on your rest days, that's what I do. When the days that I'm not exactly strength training, then I do Pilates, and that's my active recovery day. And that helps keep me mobile, keeps my hips happy, I call it, happy hips, and helps me breathe deeply, reduce some stress, and usually keep me out of injury, out of trouble, I call it, keep my body out of trouble. Yeah. Is that a
I think so.
quick recap of that? Okay. Yeah.
Well, so we do a quick recap.
Yeah, because
for the
we're
viewer.
at an hour, aren't we? Yeah. Well, I told you it's going to be a long episode. So yeah, I'd say key takeaways is if you can put it in your budget, both time and money wise, hire a trainer or some kind of fitness professional. Don't fall for the stuff on TikTok or the stuff on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you are, that's saying, total body transformation in only 4 weeks or whatever.
30-day abs.
30-day abs. Oh my gosh, one I saw today was do these 5 exercises for long, lean legs. Oh my gosh, I wish y'all could see. Okay, strength training takes time. It takes so much time. Once you're in, give yourself a year. Give yourself 12 months. Because it's going to take 4 months for you to just kind of figure out what the heck you're doing, and for your body to figure out what the heck you're doing. It's going to take you another 4 months to Okay, yeah. I see things are changing. And then another 4, which would be your last 4 of the 12, to like, oh darn, I got some shoulders. I got some biceps. Oh look, I got some thigh. Like, I might have to buy a new pair of jeans because it won't fit over my thigh, you know, or they're tight around my thigh. So give yourself that year. Strength training really should be a lifestyle. It's something that you do forever, for the rest of your life. Like, build it in. It's because what you're at, although you might start training for aesthetics to look a certain way, what you're really, really, really training for is longevity. You are training to have a good quality of life for the days that you do have here on this planet, so that daily life is a little bit easier, so that you can do the things that you really enjoy doing. Playing with grandkids, taking your dog for a walk, you know, sketching, cooking, whatever it is, whatever you love to do, that's what you're training for. Yeah. Whatever God calls you to do today, you want to be ready and prepared.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, any?
No, I say that's my big takeaway.
Okay.
I'll be quiet.
All right.
But, like, find somebody to work with.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a personal trainer, but some kind of fitness professional. Could be a group fitness instructor, could be a really good Pilates teacher, but find somebody to kind of help you map it out, figure it out, what you need to do when, and then take it from there.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that answer all the questions about what the heck is strength training?
I think
why
so.
you should do it? Okay, I think we got it all too. But if you have any questions, feel free to send them to me, or send them to us. But just overall, pick up some heavy stuff and move it around. If nothing else,
Yeah.
pick up some rocks and carry them up the driveway and then bring them back. Yeah, it's good for your brain, it's good for your bone density, and for your overall health. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're 7 episodes in and we haven't even said it yet.
What?
Leave a review.
Oh my God!
Leave a 5-star review.
Thank you, Evan.
If you made it through this hour with us, give yourself a pat on the back and leave a 5-star review.
Thank you for enduring.
Yes.
I knew this would be a long one.
So leave a review. Let us know what you love. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah.
We are pre-recording these episodes, so if there is something you want to hear us talk about,
Or have a question about.
we will get to it.
Yep.
We're available to listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and if you would like to see our beautiful faces, you can watch us on YouTube. All under Truth with Ruth. And then, if you'd like, of course, Ruth here is a fitness professional. If you'd like to learn more about her and her services, that'll be reignitepilates.com. And if you'd like to help keep the lights on for this podcast, of course we are ad-free, no sponsors, but you can support Truth with Ruth and Reignite on patreon.com. That's patreon.com, and look up Reignite Health and Fitness.
And so what I have available on Patreon is strength training workouts. So if you are a little bit more comfortable with doing it on your own, then those are on-demand videos where you can strength train with me, but in the comfort of your own home. I also have a category for older adults. So as a beginner, that would be a great place to start. But you will need a few things. All right. Dumbbells are great. But now those are not programmed though. But if you know me or want to reach out to me, I could certainly do a little bit via email. Say like, yeah, do this one on Tuesdays and this one on Thursdays kind of thing. Or I could give a little guidance like that. But yeah, so Patreon is how I'm choosing to go about it. again, if you'd like to support us there, so because what I don't want to do is I don't want to promote a product, a brand, a person, or whatever that I don't absolutely 100% believe in, and because I don't want to sell you snake oil. I want to be real and honest, and yeah. So, I mean, even if you, whatever, Patreon's there if you want it, if you want to support us and help us keep the mic on and the lights on, then all that, and help the creative director too. Anyway, so we appreciate it so much. Appreciate your time.
All
right, drop us some questions or leave us that
a 5-star review.
Glowing 5-star review.
If you don't have anything nice to say, you do not have to say anything at all.
That is correct. So, thanks for your time. Let us know if you have any questions.